Microsoft just crossed the $4 trillion threshold, a valuation that puts it in the same league as Nvidia. On the surface, the market logic isn't clear. Nvidia has a near monopoly on the essential hardware for the AI revolution. Microsoft, a legacy software company, still relies on its partner OpenAI for the most advanced models. So why is Wall Street valuing them the same? Because here's the real story. The market is betting that Microsoft has successfully transformed its business. It's no longer just a participant in the AI race. It is becoming the underlying platform for it. The strategy isn't about winning with a single superior AI model. It's about monetizing the entire AI ecosystem by leveraging its cloud infrastructure and its unbreakable grip on enterprise software. To understand this valuation, we need to deconstruct the core components of Microsoft's platform strategy. Let's unpack this. To understand Microsoft's $4 trillion valuation, you have to look back a decade. After its bruising antitrust battle in the early 2000s, Microsoft entered a period of strategic stagnation. It had won the PC war with Windows, but it was losing the future. It completely missed the shift to mobile, allowing Apple and Google to define the next era of personal computing. When Satya Nadella took over as CEO in 2014, he inherited a giant adrift. His response was a high-risk, all-in pivot away from the legacy of Windows and toward a new, uncertain frontier, cloud computing. The strategy was to build Azure into a direct competitor to Amazon's dominant AWS. This required a massive, multi-year investment in a global network of data centers, a capital-intensive bet on a future where businesses would rent, not own, their computing infrastructure. This pivot did two critical things. First, it forced Microsoft to build the exact physical infrastructure, the global data centers, the server capacity, the high-speed networks that would become the non-negotiable foundation for the AI revolution. Second, by transitioning its Office suite to the cloud with Microsoft 365, Nadella transformed the company's relationship with its customers. It moved from selling software in a box to creating a deeply integrated subscription-based ecosystem for nearly every major enterprise on the planet. Infrastructure and distribution. By the time ChatGPT launched in 2022, Microsoft was the only company that had both at global scale. It wasn't an accident. It was the result of a decade-long strategic transformation. They had built the perfect launchpad for the AI era, years before it began. Microsoft's cloud infrastructure and enterprise relationships gave it a powerful head start. But its current dominance comes from a deliberate three-part strategy to monetize the entire AI ecosystem. The first component was a calculated bet on a single company, OpenAI. Microsoft's $13 billion investment was a masterstroke, giving it exclusive access to the world's most advanced AI models long before competitors understood the stakes. While this early partnership was crucial, tech analyst Dan Ives now describes it as the training wheels for Microsoft's larger ambitions. It allowed them to learn and integrate AI, establishing an early lead. The second component is now to hedge that exclusive bet. Microsoft has transformed Azure into a neutral AI model garden. It's an open marketplace that offers access not just to OpenAI's models, but also to those from rivals like Meta and France's Mistral. The strategy is simple. No matter which model an enterprise chooses to use, the compute cycles run on Azure, and Microsoft gets paid. It's a platform play designed to profit from the entire AI arms race, not just one participant. The third and most powerful component is leveraging its existing monopoly in enterprise software. Microsoft is embedding its AI assistant, Copilot, directly into Microsoft 365 and Windows, which runs on over 1 billion active devices. The business model is a direct upsell. According to estimates, for every $100 a customer currently spends on Microsoft software, there is an incremental $50 of AI spending now on the table. This isn't just about adding features. It's about using an unmatched distribution channel to make its AI tools the default for 1 billion office workers. This three-part strategy, an early, exclusive bet, a neutral platform, and a massive built-in distribution channel, is the machinery behind Microsoft's $4 trillion valuation. Microsoft's three-part strategy isn't just about winning the AI race. It's about redefining the company itself for a new era. The implications are profound. Microsoft is no longer just a software maker. It has successfully repositioned itself as the Amazon Web Services of AI, the indispensable, utility-like platform that powers the entire industry. This is a direct replication of the AWS Playbook that won the first cloud war. By providing the essential infrastructure, a neutral marketplace, and deep enterprise integration, Microsoft has created an ecosystem where it profits from nearly every transaction in the AI economy, regardless of who builds the winning model or application. This transformation is already visible in the numbers. The company recently disclosed an annual revenue run rate for Azure of $75 billion, a figure that is rapidly closing the gap with AWS. It's a clear signal that their AI-driven cloud strategy is capturing enormous market share, and the market is pricing in an even more dominant future. The $4 trillion valuation is built on the expectation that this platform strategy is durable. It's why some analysts are now projecting that Microsoft could become a $5 trillion company. The investment case is no longer about selling Windows and Office. It's about owning the foundational platform for the next generation of computing. But this dominant platform strategy comes with a staggering, almost unprecedented cost. The AI arms race is forcing Microsoft to spend capital on the scale of a heavy industrial company, fundamentally changing its financial DNA. Microsoft just announced a record $30 billion in capital expenditure for a single quarter. They are on a trajectory to spend over $100 billion in a single year, primarily on building out AI data centers. So where does this money come from? The answer is Microsoft's software empire. The company's immensely profitable software and a booming Azure business, now at a $75 billion annual run rate, generate the massive cash flow required to fund this build-out. But this creates a business risk. For decades, Wall Street has valued Microsoft as a high-margin software business. This new level of capital spending fundamentally threatens that model. The core challenge for Satya Nadella isn't just building AI infrastructure, it's doing so without destroying the profitability that underpins his company's valuation. The company's response has been a ruthless drive for efficiency across the rest of its business. The 15,000 layoffs announced in recent months are not a funding mechanism for the CapEx. They are a direct consequence of it. When you're spending $1 billion on AI data centers and you want to keep your margins flat, it will inevitably lead to layoffs. This is the central tension of Microsoft's strategy. It's a delicate balancing act, using the profits from its high-margin past to fund a capital-intensive future, all while trying to convince Wall Street that it can do both. So, we return to the question from the start. How did Microsoft, a legacy software company, reach the same $4 trillion valuation as the revolutionary chipmaker Nvidia? The answer is now clear. Microsoft's strategy isn't to pick the winning horse in the AI race. It's to own the racetrack, the stables, and the betting window. In this new gold rush, Microsoft has positioned itself to be the ultimate toll collector. By controlling the essential cloud platform and the enterprise software that 1 billion people use every day, it profits from nearly every transaction in the AI economy, regardless of who builds the best model. It's a business model where the house almost always wins. But this strategy is not without risk. It's a bet that its legacy cash cows can fund a capital-intensive future without collapsing under the weight of a $100 billion a year spending habit. The outcome is not guaranteed. To track Microsoft's progress, don't just watch its stock price. Watch these 3 strategic signals. First, Azure's market share. Does it continue to close the gap with Amazon's AWS, proving its platform strategy is winning over enterprise customers? Second, Copilot's attach rate. How many of Microsoft's billion-plus enterprise users are actually paying the extra money for AI features? This is the key metric for real monetization. And third, CapEx versus revenue. Is Microsoft's massive infrastructure spending growing faster than its AI-driven revenue? Or is the company successfully achieving operating leverage on its historic bet? Microsoft has successfully transformed itself from a software giant into the indispensable utility for the AI era. But now it must prove that it can afford to be both. This transformation of Microsoft into the AI economy's central utility raises a new set of critical second-order questions. How does this shift the balance of power with its partners like OpenAI? And as the CapEx war with Amazon and Google intensifies, what does the endgame for the cloud market actually look like? These are the strategic questions we deconstruct every week in our newsletter, ARPU. It's designed for anyone who wants to understand not just what's happening in tech, but why it's happening and what it means for the businesses behind the products. You can subscribe at the link in the description below. Thanks for watching.